What's up, guys? Oh my god, that was cringe. So, in this top 5, this week's top 5 will be top 5 gym leaders that I love. With that being said, this top 5 will be based on my opinion, based on a combination of things that I love about the specific gym leader, based on lore, maybe theme, and anything else. So, without further ado, if you do disagree, please leave your own top 5 gym leaders in the comment section below, and let's get this discussion going. Skylar, I mean, Kyle, this is not supposed to be a wife appreciation video, but Skylar is just gorgeous looking. I love the design. The gym, for me, in terms of gym, is probably one of my favorite, with the air puzzles kind of thing aesthetic. I love that aesthetic for the gym. I love the gym. I love the design. But the thing about Skylar is the theme is a little bit underwhelming. With just her theme is essentially the ace is Swanna. I don't have a problem with Swanna, but her ace, which is her Pokemon team, is nothing to write off about. Nothing special there. And then the only thing is the World Tournament. The Pokemon World Tournament team is the only thing that is good in his team. So without further ado, I still love Skylar's design. Overall lore is her interaction with Ash in the anime, kind of a stuck-up kind of girl, overconfident, and then Ash had to beat her up. So that's probably also contributing factor. But the team, unless if we're talking Pokemon World Tournament, it's really nothing to write off about aside from how strong her Swanna was. That was actually really challenging for me. So overall, Skylar, great waifu, phenomenal gym design, and then a good anime appearance overall. So for me, I love Skylar. Number 5. Let's proceed into number 4. Now, speaking of anime, this right here, I love purely for anime. I mean, Halloween just came, just came, and this one gym leader is enough to be an anime, a Halloween special. Like, the creepiness of her exclusive lore in the anime is just like chef's kiss. I freaking love how creepy. I think I find her appearance more creepy, the creepiest in the Pokemon anime so far. And then in the manga, in the video games, her having leagues with Team Rocket, like, so rich in lore, and the design and everything about Sabrina is just phenomenal. She's just, her design, her strong team. Although I really does she have a Alakazam? I think she has an Alakazam within her team. So just that alone, the team, her design for her gym design, gym concept, gym leader concept, overall, everything about Sabrina is like one of my favorite. And I felt nostalgic because I had to use the anime picture of her instead of the video game or manga, because I just love the anime adaptation for Sabrina. One of probably the saddest and yet the creepiest out of all of the lore in Pokemon. So yes, number 4, Sabrina. Number 3, Koga. Of course, Koga has to be here because he's like one of the very few gym leaders that I actually had trouble back in the first gen remakes and first gen games, because, well, it's a poison type. It's really hard to counter poison types back in the first gen because there's only 3 psychic types. So it's really it's definitely hard to counter. It's one of the most difficult gym leader, and the fact that he's strong enough to become an Elite 4 later on. Maybe I have it in my top 5 Elite 4 next week. So without further ado, I love Koga. Koga, even in the anime, I think it's not as over. It's actually done underwhelmingly, but still, I just love the fact that he grinded and he's strong enough to become an Elite 4 member. So number 3, Koga. Hello and welcome for this week's top 5. This top 5 will be top 5 Elite 4 members. And this top 5, as for any of my top 5, will be based on my opinion, based on a combination of things that I love about the characters. If you don't agree, please leave your own top 5 in the comment section below. And let's get this discussion going. Without further ado, 5. Marshall from the 5th generation games. And then, there's really nothing strong. There's no other strong or very imposing fighting type Elite Four aside from Marshall. That is, I mean, depending on how you challenge him, like he could be the final Elite Four for the Gen 5, rocking that throw. I mean, throw for me, throw is a Nuzlocke and the remix. What I did on Pokemon Black and White Nuzlocke back in the day, throw actually wiped my entire team up. So by just starting off with a throw, you know that's gonna be a powerhouse. And then there's also Sock. He's rocking a Sock for his normal first battle pre-national Dex team. And of course, I freaking love these two Pokemon as well, Mienshao and Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is just one of those mod, like, just screams imposing, my dude. Like, it's literally the most imposing fighting type. Always carrying those boulders with them. Like, I freaking love the static for Conkeldurr, and with sheer force no less. So for me, I freaking love his pre-national Pokédex first battle team. So therefore, the rematch would be in post-national Dex. The rematch team would be, he's rocking a Breloom, throw again, it's an imposing Pokemon, and it Sock with Toxicroak, Mienshao, and the Conkeldurr. He literally still keeping the Conkeldurr, bro. The Conkeldurr is one of my favorite Gen 5 fighting type Pokemon. So yes, definitely one of my favorite. And of course, he added a Toxicroak for shits and giggles. I love freaking Toxicroak as well. And then the first battle in the Pokemon Black and White 2 is throw again. He kept the throw after all those years. And then Sock, Mienshao, and Conkeldurr. The first battle challenge mode, again keeping that throw, he loves that throw. And then Sock, Mienshao, Lucario, and Conkeldurr. Rematch in easy mode. Oh good. I love the fact, when did Pokemon not have the easy and the challenge? But I freaking love that mode, by the way. Like, that mode is definitely one of my favorite in Pokemon Black and White in the 5th generation games. Yeah, that rematch in easy mode. Again, he kept a lot of his team. He added a Medicham. Forgive me there. He's keeping the Lucario and the Mienshao and the Conkeldurrs, but he add a freaking Medicham, which is, I'm really not a huge fan of Medicham by all means, but again, with high jump kick, ice punch, fire punch, that's all the coverage he needs, like right there. And then the rematch for challenge mode, he replaced it's the same team, but instead of a Medicham, he got himself the forearm beast Machamp. So yes, I freaking love overall aesthetic. The team is imposing. I freaking love everything about Marshall. One of the strongest fighting type Pokemon. And as you may know, I freaking love the fighting type Pokemon in general. So yes, number 5 on the list would be Marshall from the 5th generation. This cannot be our top 5 characters list without some waifu appreciation. I feel like every list is gonna be there's gonna be that one character I put that is a complete waifu. Like Karen from the 2nd generation games, just looking so kissable right there. Oh my god, she looks gorgeous, bro. And then the team in general is really nothing to laugh at, because her team in Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, he's rocking the Umbreon, which is Umbreon alone. Like, that can be a great stall tactics, a troll tactic. I freaking love using Umbreon itself. And then, yes, she also, which is a primarily stall tactic. Oh my goodness. With Stanspore, Acid, with a Vileplume carrying Stun Spore, Acid, Petal Dance, and Moonlight. Yo, she's carrying primarily stall tactics, and then of course there's also Murkrow, which I feel like that's definitely going to be a Honchkrow in the 4th gen remakes. And then Gengar, of course, you all know about Gengar. She has a Gengar, a stall tactic Gengar, but regardless, it's a Gengar. It's a freaking the most imposing ghost types there is. And then your ace would be Houndoom, which is for me it's a really, really underrated Pokemon. Surprisingly enough, I love myself a Houndoom, and I think I made top 5 Ghost and Dark type in the past, and one of those is definitely a Houndoom, which I really, really love the design of having a Hellhound for a Pokemon, so I freaking love that. And then that's for the Gold and Silver Crystal. For the first battle in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, we have she kept Umbreon, of course, because Umbreon is awesome sauce right there. And then there's the Vileplume. She kept the Vileplume, and then the Murkrow was here, and then his Gengar, still the Stally tactics because I freaking love that kind of tactics, and then Houndoom. Yeah, well, it's nothing to scoff at. It's really, really nothing to scoff at. It's a really Stally team, but I also love it because there's a lot of cool Pokemon I love, like Umbreon, Gengar, Houndoom. I freaking love it. And then his rematch team is where it gets serious, because he essentially ditched a lot of her Stally team for something more offensive, like a Weavile with an Ice Punch, Night Slash, and Low Kick. Like, seriously, there's a very offensive Pokemon, and there's also the defensive Absol with Detect. Although Detect in Perish Song is really nothing defensive. Absol is probably one of the weakest Dark types in my opinion. And then there's also freaking Spiritomb. She got herself a freaking Spiritomb with Curse, Confuse Ray, Pain Split, Sucker Punch, and she's keeping the Houndoom. Like, surprisingly, she kept the Houndoom, despite the fact that Houndoom is probably one of the weakest Fire and Dark type, weak Dark and a weak Fire type. And then, of course, I knew it. It's gonna be a Honchkrow eventually, that rematch. And then, of course, she's skipping the Umbreon because Umbreon is awesome sauce. So, for team-wise, I love the team-wise, the aesthetic, and she's freaking gorgeous. So, yes, number 4, just for the design, team, I love Karen, number 4 on my list. Let's proceed to number 3 is Drake. I mean, firstly, the thing that I love about Drake, probably one of the things I love is his lore. He's a freaking treasure hunter / seafarer. Probably one of the most underappreciated Pokemon trainer class in Pokemon. I freaking love that he's a seafaring treasure hunter kind of aesthetic as character. That's primarily one that I love about Drake. And he even made an appearance in the Pokemon anime, like one of the few Elite Four that actually made an appearance in the anime, which I loved, and they should do that more. So, the team in general is freaking. I love his team. It's actually a relatively power team now that I'm looking at it. Freaking in Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, he has definitely in the rematch. Definitely, I feel like his Shogun. He has a Shogun that's definitely gonna be a Salamence, and then he has a Altaria, Flygon, which is a very underappreciated, overshadowed kind of Dragon type 2 Flygon, as a matter of fact, and then a Salamence, which is definitely an ace because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Salamence is definitely one of those pseudo legendary, or either that or overused Pokemon, one of those things. Yeah, Salamence, definitely his ace there. And then in Pokemon Emerald, definitely my favorite team overall is, of course, he kept his Shelgon, his Altaria, his Flygon, and Salamence, and then he swapped his Flygon for one of his Flygon for a Kingdra, which is one of my favorite dragon types, surprisingly enough, because before 6th gen, freaking, there's really nothing you could do against a Kingdra, because Kingdra, the only weakness for dragon types back in those days before 6th gen is ice type, and since he's water type, he essentially resists one of his major typing is he neutralizes it. So for me, one of the most powerful dragon types before 6th gen. So yes, that's why I love Kingdra overall. So, and just the aesthetic of a seahorse as well. So yes, I do prefer his team in Pokemon Emerald more than the Pokemon Ruby Sapphire. So yes, and then in initial battle for Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, he kept his Altaria and Flygon, and then Kingdra is also, he kept those because Kingdra is still a powerhouse despite the fact that Fairy type now is a thing. And then there's also the Flygon and the Salamence. And then the rematch, oh, he didn't keep a lot of his Pokemon. He kept Altaria, Flygon, Kingdra, and Salamence, but he changed into Dragalge. He added a Dragalge and Haxorus, which is, for me, I don't have any opinion about Dragalge. The fact that Dragalge can resist one of his weaknesses, which is the fairy typing, I like that, but overall, the one that I'm finding over is freaking Haxorus. Haxorus, definitely one of the most overshadowed dragon type in 5th gen, mainly because Hydreigon is more popular. So yes, overall, just the aesthetic, just his lore background, I freaking love Drake. So yes, number 3, enough to be putting on my number 3, my top 5 Elite Four. Let's proceed. We've done top 5 gym leaders, top 5 Elite Fours. Now it's time to count my favorite top 5 champion. Without further ado, if you guys do disagree with this top 5, please leave your own top 5 in the comments section below, and let's get this discussion going, because of course, as you may all know, this top 5 is based primarily on my opinion. So yes, let's get this discussion below. Without further ado, on the list is Leon, the recent champion, the most recent champion of the recent game. Leon is our true rival. I mean, he did pick the actual starter Pokemon that actually is strong against our starter Pokemon. So yes, of course, I'm gonna have to pick Leon. He has a Charizard for an ace, he has a Seismitoad, he has a freaking a kick-ass team. Overall, in general, I do love the man that wears his sponsors all the time. So yes, Leon number 5. Let's proceed into number 4 is definitely Red. Like, oh my god, the serious, the quiet type. He's a quiet type. He's also, funnily enough, has a freaking Charizard in his team. He has a kick-ass Pikachu, he has a Venusaur, a Blastoise, a Lapras, a Snorlax. Oh my goodness. And he is right up there, the coldest mountain in the Kanto and Johto region. Freaking just looking for Mew. Oh my goodness, I love this guy's aesthetic so damn much. So yes, number 4, Red. Number 3, I mean, even, oh my goodness, what a gorgeous man he is. What? Speaking of waifu appreciation in its top 5, I mean, let's do a husbando appreciation. I mean, Steven is way too much of a looker, my dude. I mean, seriously, Steven, of course. I mean, there's also a waifu appreciation later on in this video. So yes, time to appreciate my one and only Pokemon husbando, which is Steven. I mean, look at how good looking this man is. What a sexy guy, Steven. Huh? With this team in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, he's rocking their Skarmory, Kaleido, Aggron, Cradily, which is a relatively good Pokemon back, and I think it's definitely one of the better or well utilized or ancient or freaking what's fossil Pokemon in competitive right now. And then Armaldo, and of course the Ace is one of the pseudo legendary, which is Metagross. So of course I'm gonna be putting him based on his team. He always has he has to have Metagross in each iteration, of course. So number 3 is definitely Steven, and then there's also a lot of team for him. In Black and White too, the PWT he has a Metagross, an Aggron, an Excadrill. He upgraded to an Excadrill, an Archeops, Cradilla, and Armaldo back in his 5th gen team. And then his Pokemon Aura's team is Skarmory. He kept the Skarmory, and then Cradle, Aggron, Cradilla, Armaldo, and of course Metagross, Mega Metagross, mind you. So yes, based on this team, I freaking love the fact that there's a kick-ass team. Handsome as folk, of course, Steven, number 3 in the list. Without further ado, let's go on.